What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Off the Schneid. Today we're looking at the New York Football Giants, taking a look at what their needs might be heading into the 2021 NFL Draft, post-free agency for the most part. We'll start at quarterback. Daniel Jones. This is I'm not going to call it a make or break quite yet, but he regressed quite a bit. Obviously, losing Saquon Barkley is a huge hit to that offense as a whole and puts a little more pressure on Daniel Jones. And to be honest, he didn't really pass that test. So, it's not quite a make or break yet, but if he doesn't get back to at least his rookie season as far as stats are concerned, the wins need to be there as well, obviously. Then I could see the Giants definitely starting to think about moving on here. Mike Lennon comes in to be the backup, quality backup. I've always liked Mike Lennon. I think he can get the job done if need be. But Danny Dimes is the guy, and they need him to be that guy. So we'll see how he does this year. He does have the weapons, absolutely has the weapons. So there's not too many more excuses for Daniel Jones not to succeed as long as everybody stays healthy. So we'll see. Saquon Barkley comes back, like I said. Hopefully he looks great from everything I've seen workout-wise. He looks like he's ready to go, so he should be that guy that he was drafted to be and was early on in his career, obviously. Devontae Booker comes in to back him up. Elijah Penny's there. He's more of a fullback type of a guy, Elijah Penny. So I see them looking at running back somewhere. Obviously not early, maybe third, fourth, or one of those 6th-round picks type of thing. Maybe they trade down somewhere in there and acquire a couple more picks and add a guy in somewhere in there. We'll see, but it's not a huge concern. But I definitely see them adding a competition piece somewhere in the draft. Tight ends are in a fantastic position. Evan Ingram's obviously there. Kyle Rudolph comes in, which is huge. Caden Smith, who I really like, is still there. Levine Tuliolo, I hope I said that right, is there as well. He's been in the league a long time, solid vet, can get the job done. So I think that, again, he has the weapons with Kenny Galladay coming in. John Ross comes in. Hopefully John Ross can stay healthy for him. Being a Bengals fan, it was a bit of a letdown kind of a thing. It is what it is. You can blame whoever you want to blame on that one, but hopefully he stays healthy for the Giants, and he's still a 4-3 speed burner type of a guy. Kenny Galladay comes in, like I said, big body receiver who's a little bit of a different mold than the rest of the guys. Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, Dante Pettis, obviously. Those guys are all similar molds, so he's going to do a lot of things for this team and a lot of things for Danny Dimes, in my opinion. I still really, really like Darius Slayton. Sterling Shepard's still quality, absolutely. Dante Pettis was, I think, a 2nd-round pick for the Giants, or the 49ers, sorry, a couple years ago. Maybe they add a competition piece in the draft, but again, it's not going to be high. It's not going to be one of their 1st or 2nd-round picks unless somebody like miraculously falls to them that they just cannot resist, sort of a thing. I don't look to address any of the weapons on the Giants, in my opinion. If you look at the offensive line, there's still pretty quality. Nate Solder's still there. He comes back. Will Hernandez, Shane Lemieux, Andrew Thomas, Zach Fulton comes in from the Texans. Matt Peart's still there. Spencer Pulley is there. They definitely have a lot of starters depth. I'm not concerned too much with the offensive line for the Giants. I think that they could look to add, as another competition depth piece. Relatively complete team, but I do think that there's some pretty big needs on the defense that I would address if I'm the Giants. I would look there first, personally. So let's pop over to the defensive side of the ball. Leonard Williams comes back. I believe that was on a franchise tag. Danny Shelton comes in. Dexter Lawrence still there. Ryan Anderson comes in. I can't recall off the top of my head, if I'm being honest with you guys, if they were 4-3 last year, if they switched to the 3-4 last season. I think that they probably did switch last season, given the coaching changes, Joe Judge coming in. But they're absolutely a 3-4 this year, 100%. And they made some moves to kind of make that transition a little easier. I think Lorenzo Carter plays outside linebacker. Ifedi Odenigbo, who I thought was going to be either a Brown or a Bengal. He's from Ohio. I was hoping for him to be a Bengal personally. Ryan Anderson, sorry, like I said. O'Shane Ximines. I don't think I ever say his name right, but give me a break. But I do think that they need some help there. I absolutely think that they need some help. I'm not sure if it's on the line or an outside linebacker type of a guy, even inside linebacker, because Lorenzo Carter, I think, gets after the quarterback a lot better. Blake Hernandez is obviously there, and he does a very good job, but I think they could add another piece in there. Corners, they did a great job of filling that out in free agency. Last year, they brought in James Bradbury. This year, they bring in Adoree Jackson, Logan Ryan last year as well. Xavier McKinney comes back from injury. Isaac E. Adams there. Darnay Holmes. They definitely have some pieces. Safety, they don't need anything. I don't expect them to address safety whatsoever in the draft. I think that they have 4 very quality guys that can all play. And I think the corners are fine as well. I don't think there's too much need. You could always have more. You could, injuries happen, that sort of thing. You need guys to slide in, competition, all that kind of a thing. But I don't know. Going through this roster, it's a question mark who they're going to take at 11. I could potentially see them trading down, acquiring a few more picks, and or maybe some picks next year type of a thing. Depends on who's there at 11. I mean, it's a weird spot for the Giants to be in. They could definitely use some playmakers, but it's hard to say who's going to be there for them at 11. And is there maybe going to be a quarterback that some teams are going to want to trade up for? Who knows? Keep an eye out for my mock draft coming out in a couple weeks here, but it's an interesting spot. Right now, I have no clue. I honestly have no clue what I think the Giants would do at a pick like 11, besides potentially slide down a little bit and acquire a couple more picks. They don't have a ton of draft capital, but they do have some quality there. There's nothing wrong with, all their picks are basically inside the top 200. So we'll see. I mean, as far as needs are concerned, for me, I'm probably looking at corner. It's always been an issue for the Giants. It didn't work out with Eli Apple particularly. Obviously, DeAndre Baker didn't work out for them. So, just keep swinging kind of a thing. Keep trying to find that guy. They did bring in some, at the very least, depth guys, that's for sure, and other guys that can play. So it's not a massive need, but, we'll see. Running back depth, O-line depth, everything is more or less depth. More or less just adding competition and depth on this team. It's actually a pretty good squad. They pushed for the division. Everybody did in this division. They all pushed for it. But I think that they're pretty close. We'll see what they do in the draft. I'm going to have to take a hard look at their picks, see what I think they're going to do. I could have them trading back. Corner, outside linebacker, inside linebacker, probably somewhere on the defensive line, the 3-4 line. Wide receiver, another depth guy, running back depth guy, O-line depth guy. Again, just a lot of depth. So we'll see what they do. I could see them trading back. We'll leave it there. Watch out for the mock draft. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Appreciate the watch, and we'll see you on the next video.